Welcome, everybody, to the Bush and Me show. It's week 10, big dog. Week 9 wasn't so great to us. We got a little argument here. I say I'm 1-2 and you were 0-3. You say you were 0-2-1, which would make me 0-2-1. The game in question was the Commanders and the Vikings. I had the Commanders at 3.5 during the show. You had the Vikings. But when you guys watch this on Sunday morning, we release it. The line did move to 3.
Mm-hmm.
So if you took the Vikings with Bush, you got the Bush push.
Yes.
Bring that one back. But if you Me's money moves, we took the Commanders and we bought the 0.5 point, 3.5. So it is what it is. We'll give you 0-2-1, which would make me 0-2-1 as well. Not our best showing here. But that's why we're back, to bounce back, baby.
Hey, listen, that's why we put our helmet and our shoulder pads on every single week, man. It's because every single week there's a new opportunity for us and for me to be better than you when picking these games. And I just wish I would have won one, then I could have had some type of bragging rights to sit up here and gloat about. But that's not the situation that we're in. It was a little humbling. The Bills, I did pick the Bills to cover last week, and they were a shell of themselves. And then I thought I had it in the bag with the Miami-Chicago game. I did pick the Miami Dolphins over the Chicago Bears, and Miami was doing well, and then where the hell did Justin Fields got a wild hair up his behind, and he was just like, you know what, I'm going to make these games a lot more interesting. And that was a good that was a good fight. It was a real good fight, but Miami beat them, but they didn't cover like I thought. So down week. Let's see if we can pick it up this week.
Bounce back, baby. Over at Me's Money Moves, we had another winning week since August 1st. 12 out of 14 winning weeks. We've only had 2 losing weeks since August 1st, baby. We're staying hot over there. 65% in the NFL, 61% in college. So check us out at Me's Money Moves. Before we jump into our picks here, though, run through some trends for you again. The best teams right now in the NFL against the spread, still the New York Football Giants, still the Dallas Cowboys because they were on a bye last week, and the Tennessee Titans now. All 3 of those teams are 6-2 against the spread. The Giants are a big surprise there, but worst teams against the spread. This is very surprising. The worst team against the spread in the NFL. At the beginning of the season, you would have never guessed this. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 2-6-1. Right behind them are the Los Angeles Rams, defending Super Bowl champs, at 2-5-1. And both those teams are worse than the third worst team, which is the Carolina Panthers, who I would have thought was the worst against the spread team.
Right.
Bucs and the Rams got to pick it up, baby. The Colts just had a change at head coach, brought in a little Jeff Saturday.
Questionable hire, but
to
each their own.
Saturday will be there on Sunday.
I guess so.
0-9 against the spread in the first half. So the Colts start off very slow. If you're looking for a bet, follow a trend to take a bet on that. 0-9 against the spread in the first half. They're 3-6 overall against the spread. So they make a little comeback in the second half. Another surprising stat here, the under for every Colts game is 8-1 this year. So the Colts aren't scoring points, and they're holding teams to a few points. So that's a good one there. Aaron Rodgers, how about this one? His first career start at Lambeau as an underdog of more than a field goal. He's never been an underdog of more than 3 starting in Lambeau Field. That's 121 home starts he's had. This week against Dallas, he's a 5-point underdog at home.
That's exciting.
121 starts.
That's exciting, man. Listen, this is a humbling time for Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. You understand? I mean, they've lost a lot. They've lost key players, and that's turned into losses on their side of the ball. This is a great stat right there. Great stat. I might have to go back and stat check you because that's a pretty that's a pretty wild line. He's been that dominant for that long at home. Lambeau is a very difficult place to play, but that's consistency for you. That's MVP caliber player and consistency. So they're definitely having a down year.
My money is on you not being able to stat check that because you won't know where to find the lines for the last 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where the hell you get some of this stuff from, but it is what it is.
And the last stat for you, the Rams play the Cardinals this week. It's a low spread. It's 1.5. But Sean McVay is 11-1 straight up against Arizona. He's 10-1 against the spread. So if you're looking for, an easy win, they could say, jump on the Rams because McVay does not lose against the Cardinals. Although I did just see Stafford went into concussion protocol. So
yeah, you might want to hold your tongue there, Playboy.
Don't bet that one blindly, but a good stat there. All right, let's get into these picks. Bounce back week 10. Bush, why don't you go first?
Man, we're gonna, I gotta start here, man. I gotta start here. Welcome back to Miami. Tua's back. He's got the train back rolling. If you're not familiar with the train, Tyreek's on it. Jalen Waddle's on it. Raheem Mostert looks pretty good when they decide to give him the ball. And Tua's leading this thing, man. He's doing a pretty solid job. But they face a whole different team this weekend, the Browns, compared to the Bears, because the Browns are getting off of the bus and they're going to run the rock. And to me, if you're going to figure out a way for Cleveland to come down here to Miami, it's pretty cold in Cleveland right now. It's possibly going to be a little warm down here in Miami. We do have a tropical storm that's kind of passing our area now, but by the time the Browns get here, it will be warm outside. So I think this is an opportunity for Miami, one, to utilize their elements for those traveling Browns as they come down here. But getting back to how are we going to find a way to keep Tua, Tyreek, and Waddle off the field? It's who the Cleveland Browns are, by running the rock. They have a pretty good two-headed monster here at running back in Cleveland. You're going to have to utilize them, and they've done that all season. But here's the other thing. Here's the other second matchup or the second thing that I'm really looking for in this game. Miami's defense, first off, Miami's defense is doing a pretty good job of holding their opponents under 4 yards of carry if you're talking about the running back carrying the ball. So I'm excited to see how that Miami Dolphins defense can kind of hold up against this explosive running attack. But the other matchup that I'm excited to see, and this is the guy that when you get the scouting report, they do a scouting report by colors. If you know kind of how that system was set up, it was set up by Bill Parcells. I do believe that when you're talking about scouting colors and grades, when you give a player a blue, that means you better know where that player is every single play. That player is a game wrecker. Myles Garrett is a blue. I've seen it with my own eyes. He's a blue. You understand? He can wreck your game. And this is going to be the matchup that I'm looking for is Myles Garrett versus Teron Armstead. That's going to be it. How are you going to slow this Miami Dolphins defense down? Browns offense, hold on to the ball. I'm sorry, you're going to slow this Miami Dolphins offense down? It's going to be the Browns offense keeping the Miami Dolphins offense off the field, and it's going to be Myles Garrett. But I think he's going to have a tough task this week. You got Teron Armstead. The Miami Dolphins have to have a plan for Garrett. Like I said, he's categorized as a game wrecker. I think to me, this game is going to be a back and forth game. It's going to be close in the beginning, maybe up through halftime. But I believe Miami will have the offense that's one, it's too electric, too explosive, and too down the field. And I don't think Cleveland's going to be able to hold up with that. That's why I'm taking Miami in the 3.5 points.
I would say I like your pick, but I'm against it with my first pick.
Okay.
I'm going with Cleveland in this game. I like everything you said, especially you gave the insight for a lot of people out there that probably don't know how scouting works. I guess maybe later we can talk about what color you were when you were out there.
It probably ranged, but we'll talk about that.
The Cleveland's coming off a bye, and Miami's heading into a bye. So you got two different teams here. There's a team that's coming out fresh, have had 2 weeks to plan for this offense, the electric offense you were talking about. And you got a team that's coming off 2 away games that were hard-fought victories for them. They had to come back to beat the Lions. They had to hold on to beat the Bears. I just think that they may be heading into their bye week a little early. They may be limping into it. I think Cleveland's going to run the ball here, just like you said. Two-headed monster, heavy dose. Vegas has this at 48.5, which is a little high for me. I know the Browns don't really play a lot of defense, and Miami can put up a lot of points. But I think that Cleveland's going to keep the time of possession. They're going to long drives, run the ball, keep Tua off the field to keep this game close. And I think it's going to be played in around 24-20 would be your final score. Cleveland could win this game. And Miami's just going to be blindsided by this one. Kevin Stefanski, my man, 2-0 after a bye week in his career. He gets his team ready. And I think Brissett goes back into Miami and gets this win for Cleveland. I'm taking Cleveland in the 3.5.
I beg to differ, sir. You've already heard a lot of my reasonings, yep. But I think that the key stat for me is this. Miami's holding opposing running backs to 3.7. I know they haven't seen Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I know they haven't seen that. But if they can keep them to 4, limit these big plays, Miami on the back end can stick with their receivers. We're going to see a good matchup. Amari and Xavier and Howard. But listen, I can't wait to see you kind of eat crow on this.
Your stats a little skewed there because Justin Fields technically isn't a running back, so he doesn't fall into that 3.
Exactly. That's why I'm confident in what I said. I said they hold running backs. They're not.
A little skewed there.
No, it's not skewed. It's not skewed. I didn't give you the quarterback running stats for a reason.
They give up rushing.
No,
yards.
I'm not yet.
Just don't give them up to the running backs.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They hold the running backs in. So I think it's going to be exciting, man. And as this, before I kind of get on to my next game, they have a pass rush in Miami that will continue to get better with the addition of what's that dude's name they just got from the Broncos?
Chubb.
Yes, the other Chubb. Yes,
Bradley Chubb.
Bradley Chubb. I'm sitting there thinking I know I just said that other Chubb. But at the end of the day, you got Bradley Chubb, Agba, and Melvin Ingram looked like he had a little chip on his shoulder last week because I sat and watched the game. One of his first plays in, boom, comes in, sack. So you come in, you just pay a new guy. The older savvy vet that's in the building got a little pissed off, I believe. You just give this guy $100 million, he comes out here and he goes and gets his sack in his first series. So I think they got an exciting pass rush down there. But I'm gonna get to game 2. We got the Detroit Lions going into Soldier Field, and this is gonna be a good matchup, man. Lions, they got a little buzz now. They came back. They picked Aaron Rodgers off 3 times last week. Got to be feeling good about themselves. Confidence is high. You walking into Soldier Field with your chest out, and I'm not mad at that because I believe the Chicago Bears did have a lot of success last week. Had an opportunity to make that game a little interesting at the end if that receiver would have caught that ball from Justin Fields when he was out on the run. But listen, I think that mojo kind of wears off a little bit. If you're a big boy and you love O-line play and you love running the ball, this is an exciting matchup for you this week. If you love the run game, and I feel like I could put a little Gucci Mane and Drake on right now, that song both, because I'm going to tell you this right now, both Chicago and Detroit have rushed for over 1,000 yards this year. Both of these teams have have averaged 5 or more per rush. But both of these teams really stink at stopping the run. Both of these teams have given up 1,200 yards on the ground. I believe the Lions have given up 1,197, so I just rounded it up. You've learned about that at elementary school. So both of these teams have given up 1,200 on the ground. Both of these teams they give up 5 a rush, so this is going to be exciting. I feel like they're just going to run. Who can rush for more touchdowns? Who's going to have more rushing yards at the end of this game is who's going to win it. But I do believe when you're talking about quarterback play, Jared Goff does give you a better opportunity through the air than Justin Fields. But I will say this: the key to this Lions victory, the key matchup in this game, Meehan, is the defensive coordinator of the Lions, Aaron Glenn, and it's versus Justin Fields. Well, Aaron Glenn played for 13-plus years, I believe, so he's not strapping it on there no more. But what we got to figure out is what kind of plan are you going to have? You saw what Justin Fields did last week. He single-handedly put the Chicago Bears in a position to beat the red-hot Miami Dolphins, and they almost had a chance to do it. Well, why? Because he ran all over the Dolphins. He ran all over the Dolphins. Contain him, spy him, make him win from within the pocket. Because if you let him scramble and rush for 70, 80 plus yards, then the Detroit Lions don't deserve to keep this game close or be in a place to win it. But I feel like, they're going to have to, bring this guy back down to earth a little bit. I don't want to go against my former team, but it's the Lions. They got some confidence, and I believe that deservedly so. So I'm going with the Lions game too.
You're taking the Lions to go into Soldier Field and win a game. Think about what you're.
I know. Listen, it kills me. But that was a tough one for me. It really could have went either way for me, but it's going to be explosive either way because we might see 400 plus yards of rushing on the ground this week. Seriously,
it should be a good game either way.
Who you got?
I like the direction the Lions are heading. My game 2 of this week is very simple. I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers -7, 1 touchdown, to beat the LA Chargers this week. It's a new look 49ers team, right? They're coming off a bye. My second team I'm taking this week coming off a bye. There's my trend. Bye-bye. They're 4-4. New look, Christian McCaffrey. They're going to have more time there together. They're going to have, Deebo Samuel. I think they're going to run all over. They're going to have some trick plays, not really trick plays, but some new design plays to stretch the field a little bit. These Chargers, I had them last week on Me's Money Moves, but these Chargers should have probably lost to Atlanta last week. The Chargers had a lot of hype coming into the season, but they've underperformed terribly. They are 5-3, but they're squeaking out games. I just think San Francisco's defense is too strong, and their offense now has so many weapons. I believe it's between them and the Eagles that are favored to win the NFC and represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. I got San Francisco winning this game by double digits. I think it's going to be easy. I'm taking San Francisco -7 at home, coming off a bye.
San Francisco at home. I like that. That game was pretty intriguing to me. I figured you would take it because it'd be an easy W, so I figured that. I figured you.
It's a Sunday night special. They flexed it to Sunday night.
That is right. They did. But listen, I like that. Damn, that game was intriguing. I wish I'd have took that one because I'm sitting here thinking about.
You can hop on.
No, I'm not going to.
You can co-sign it.
No, I'm good. Yeah, I will. I'll co-sign it. I love the pick. And the bye week really kind of fell at the right time for those guys, man. Getting McCaffrey, and then like you said, then you have Kittle, and you have Debo. Trent is back healthy.
They're stacked.
Dude, they're stacked, man. And, if they can't go out here and just start to rattle off wins, that's a problem from within. So, listen, let me get to my lock of the week. Boy, my boys let me down on Monday night. They let me down on Monday night. I just think that, obviously the game I'm talking about is the Saints. They're going in to Pittsburgh. The Saints are favored at 1.5. I like the matchup, but boy, they let me down on Monday night. Just Lamar and that offense was just too much. It was too much. The RPOs, I seen the Saints going a lot more man, so that that really, and I believe you do that so you can kind of take away some of those RPO options. Little inconsistent, man. They really let the Ravens defense get the best of them last week. Eric McCoy went down. Cesar Ruiz had to slide in the center. So, I think our offensive line was shuffled a little bit. So it just, it really wasn't a good outing. Justin Houston had a huge, huge game for the Baltimore Ravens. I think this is a great opportunity, though, for the Saints to go into Pittsburgh. It's going to be rowdy. It's going to be loud. Those stupid, terrible towels are going to be waving everywhere. It's really, truly, it's in such an exciting environment to go play there. But this is a game where I think this team can bounce back. You got to make Pickett step up and win. This guy has 2 touchdowns, 8 interceptions on the year. That's not really a good look. Like I said earlier, I think the Saints defense did a solid job versus Lamar through the air last week. He only had 135 yards. So I think, and what's unfortunate, I believe they might be without Pete Werner this week. If you're talking about New Orleans, so it's plug and play. The back end should be healthy, and I feel really good about that matchup versus the Steelers' receivers and playmakers. the Pittsburgh Steelers do get T.J. Watt back this week. He's another one of those guys. I don't know if he's another game record. So being able to have a plan for T.J. Watt, because he's definitely going to elevate their pass rush. I mean, come on, that's what he does. He's going to be a force in the run game as well. He's going to be fresh. He's going to feel good. I don't know if he's going to play every single rep because you're just getting him back out there. So I don't know if there's going to be some type of plan to kind of work him back. But we're speaking of plans. The Saints have to have a plan for T.J. Watt. He's going to line up to the offense's right side. If you're facing the defense, and he's going to have to go up against Ryan Ramczyk. I like this matchup. I think this is a great matchup. Ryan Ramczyk has been in there game in and game out. I believe he'll be able to hold him down. But this is a guy you don't want to leave one-on-one with many offensive tackles in the league. Pretty exciting stuff. But I believe the Saints must commit to the run game. I didn't see enough Taysom Hill out of them, to be honest with you. So get Taysom Hill in the game. The Saints are 3-1 when they rush for 135 yards plus. If they rush for under 15 or less, they're 0-5. So commit to the run it early, run it often. And if you want to go into Pittsburgh and get a W, that's what you need to do, man. I'm going with the Saints as my lock of the week over the Steelers.
The Saints, shocker. 3 picks this week. All 3 of your former teams were involved, but you went with the Lions over the Vikings.
Oh, my gosh. Please don't make me feel bad about that.
I got to keep reminding you. All right, so you got the Saints. My lock this week, I started out 6-0. I'm on a 3-game losing streak. 6-3, still a great record.
You want to know why you're on a 3-game losing streak? Because you keep looking in the past. That's why.
You want to be on a losing streak and keep interrupting. You're going to lose more than a pick.
I'm not scared of you at all.
All right, my lock this week. As you know, my first 2 teams are coming off byes, right? I'm going into Lambeau Field. The Green Bay Packers are taking on Dallas. Dallas is coming off a bye, right? Dallas is laying 5.5 at Lambeau. We told you earlier, Aaron Rodgers has never, ever in the history of his career been an underdog of more than 3 points at home. And this week, he is. Is it for a reason? Dallas is coming off a bye. But I'm not taking Dallas. I think this is an overreaction here. I'm taking Green Bay. And you might say Green Bay isn't coming off a bye, but bullshit, because last week it looked like they thought they were on a bye up in Detroit. So I think it's a big overreaction here. The Packers are 3-6 and look terrible, right? No one is talking about them doing anything. Dallas is 6-2 and coming off a bye. Overreaction is what I wrote down really big. An overlook, because next week Dallas plays the Minnesota Vikings, who are 7-1. They're playing for first place. They're playing for home field advantage in the NFC. I think Dallas is going to overlook Green Bay. They're going to say they're terrible. They just lost to the Lions. I think Green Bay needs to come out here and prove something. They may not win this game, but they're going to take a lead early. They're going to be in Lambeau. And if Dallas fights back to win this game, it's not going to be by more than 5 points. I'm taking Aaron Rodgers getting the most points he's ever gotten at Lambeau Field. Give me Aaron Rodgers. Give me Green Bay getting the 5 points. Too much. It's too much at home. Give me. If I had a cheesehead, I'd put it on right now like Lee Corso. They're covering the spread.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I mean, these guys, these guys, they've been.
That pick is so out there that it left you speechless.
Yeah, like I don't have anything to say to you on that one.
Look, it's uncomfortable.
You
We've
just
won a lot of games being uncomfortable this year.
Yeah, I get you. I mean, I don't think they're going to overlook this game, and just for the reason you said, because next week they play the Vikings for an opportunity to, have the best record in the NFC. Well, these are the games you must win. When you know this team is not good, you do not let Aaron Rodgers spoil your parade, Dallas Cowboys. I just want this guy to lose just one more week. Just one more week.
This sounds more personal than
because you're just gonna rub it in. No, it's a good solid. It's hard to beat Aaron Rodgers at home. They just been looking pretty bad the last few weeks,
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of help, but he's gonna get it done.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is, and I like your picks this week.
Bounce back week 10.
We got to have it.
Back with a vengeance.
Come on, man. We got to have it. You know?
the good thing is we both can't go over because we went against each other in one game.
That is true. That is true.
I'm going 3-0.
Well, yeah, I'll go 3-0 too. Then let's do it. It's nothing to me. It's nothing. No, yeah, man. I was excited about my picks last week. Actually, you know what? I was nervous about my picks last week. I'm only nervous about one of my picks this week. I feel good about the other two. I'm at least going 2-1. Calling it now.
It's going to be a great week of football. Make sure you guys get yourself in front of a television if you're not attending a game.
Yeah.
I believe every single game is less than a touchdown besides 2. Currently, I mean, we filmed this on Wednesday night, so that could change, but every single spread is close. So this should be a one-possession game in a lot of these games. 1 or 2 plays could turn the outcome of any game. You know that.
Absolutely. Well,
great week for football.
Well, too bad Vegas is not in there playing the games, but the outcomes won't be that way. There's going to be a couple blowouts, but I'm excited either way because I'm about to get back in the winner's bracket. Let's do it.
There you go, baby.
All right.
Pushing me, week 10. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next week.
We out.